So I want to welcome everybody to the second annual State of the School District, and we'll call it a lunch. We had our first annual last year was a huge success. And this year we're very happy to be able to open it up to a wider audience. And uh, let's see, I don't quite, here, let me. Go through this. So first of all, what I want to do is I want to uh, give our sponsors a nice shout out. We're very happy to be partnered with Toski, Collins, and Doyle. They do litigation work throughout the region, and their track record is phenomenal. So thanks very much to Steve Toski and his team, to our good friends at Uncle Credit Union. Harold Roundtree has been a fantastic supporter of PPIE and all of our schools, and they do really good work in the community. Our friends Don Garman and Lauren Moon at Mirador Capital Partners. What makes them unique in many cases as an investment advisor is that they really focus on the Tri-Valley. And of course, our friends Tim Harkness and all of this team over at Unchained Labs, they do a great work in terms of developing life science biologics tools that are really cutting edge. And of course, I want to say thanks to all of our friends at our parent clubs, people with our school board trustees, the principals and staff and teachers who really are true heroes in the community, friends of ours at the City Council, City of Pleasanton, including Mayor Brown, who will be speaking later, the police department, and on behalf of our board and our great volunteers who are PPIE ambassadors. Thank you all for coming. PPIE has been around for over 30 years. And as many people know, we partner with PTA. We're very close friendship with all of our parent clubs, PTA, PTSA, and PFC. And we focus on funding staff, and they fund stuff. And we get that money into the classroom, and we take parent donations. We combine that with our great corporate partners, and we're able to fund, we reached $725,000 last year. And with that, we funded a broad range of positions that make a real difference with our students. Intervention specialists who focus on reading and sometimes math, wellness specialists, library support counselors, and programs to fund a lot of different initiatives throughout our schools. We have a number of great programs. We fund STEM grants. We started a great business school engagement program where we're getting business people to enter into the classroom via Zoom to provide some career path support and guidance to our students, and help work with robotics clubs or drone clubs or DECA. It's really phenomenal. We started a mock interview program where we arrange for business people to do mock interviews with students, which has really changed their life. We'll be talking about the Pillars of Pleasanton program soon. And then we've really leaned into student wellness. We're working with Monica Wharton and all the support counselors. We're helping develop a wellness centers at our high schools. And I just want to give a shout out. I don't know if you can see this, but the bottom, that's a Bernie meme, that little photo down there. If you see him with his mittens sitting in a wellness center. So they do a great job trying to reach our students who are, many of them are doing well, but others are not. And we're there to support them. And then finally, just a shout out for our run. This will be our 9th annual run. We typically have about 3,000 people there. Last spring, we had to cancel and go to virtual race. And the community was able to race around the country, accumulate miles. And this year, we're going to run it from April 11th through the 18th. And we're looking to race around the world. And when you register, you'll get little e-postcards from different places around the world, and a great shirt that you wear downtown. And you'll get discounts if you wear that shirt to different vendors, different places around downtown. And if you register early, and we'll be starting this notification in May, you'll get great prizes like Apple earbuds and stuff like that. So that's what we do. And so without further ado, it really is my great privilege to introduce Dr. David Haglund, our superintendent, and he will be giving his second annual State of the School District presentation. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Steve. First off, I would like to thank PPIE for hosting this annual event, albeit virtually this year, for the second year in a row. We continue to have much to celebrate and to be proud of. I would like you to join me in welcoming our newly elected trustees, Kelly Mokashi and Mary Jo Carey, onto our team. This is an important time for public education, and effective leadership is critical. I'm pleased to have the opportunity to work with you both. I also wanted to acknowledge our outgoing trustees, Valerie Arkin and Jamie Yee, for their many years of service to the Pleasanton community. Your impact will leave lasting, ongoing impressions in our work. Thank you. I'm grateful for our leadership team, which includes our board of trustees, but also the members of executive cabinet. 2020 has been a year of challenges, of conflict, and of change. Yet I've never believed more in the shared mission and vision statements that guide our work together. Our students will make a better world, and each and every one of them will grow to be a resourceful, resilient, responsible, and engaged world citizen. This year has challenged us to embrace and model the very qualities we work to instill in our students. We were called on to look inward and to focus our energies, while at the same time reaching outside of ourselves and outside of our personal comfort zones. Over the past 2 years, the concept of the us in PUSD has taken shape, recognizing that each member of our team plays a vital role in the health, well-being, and education of our young people. It has been inspiring to see how this idea has expanded beyond the district into members of the greater Pleasanton community. One of the most inspiring efforts has been by the We Are Pleasanton movement, started by a local business owner, Todd Uticall. Todd's a great guy and a leader in our community. He saw a need and he wanted to do some good, so he called his friends. The We Are Pleasanton group created an ambitious list of projects they are fundraising for with the help of PPIE, which will benefit students across the district. Their first project is a massive shade structure at Amador Valley, and they have almost hit their fundraising goal to make it happen. Wouldn't it be great if we could help them hit that mark today? As we celebrate and recognize our 2020 accomplishments, let's pay something forward for the next generation of students. Over the course of our time together this afternoon, I'd like to challenge you to help put some wind in their sails by capturing the QR code on the screen with your cell phone and making a contribution. If we exceed what is needed for this project, the dollars will be applied to their next project. Let's do this together. After all, we are Pleasanton. 2020 started off like any other year. We were all doing the things we know and love, and our educators and staff continued to deliver a world-class education to each of our students. This picture was captured at Pirate Night at Alisal. Obviously, I forgot my pirate pajamas that night. Likewise, teachers were connecting with students, and our principals were engaging with our youngest learners. And high school students were focused on connection and community, which was built inside of our classrooms. And we continued to learn about diversity and celebrated the cultures of our families. We broke ground on new and exciting Measure I-1 projects and embraced and enjoyed the many talents of our students. We celebrated their successes as they continue to give us hope for the future and for a better world. We also celebrated our schools as they were recognized for their excellence. And we recognized our phenomenal PUSD employees. And then came March. It was a month that will not soon be forgotten. On March 3rd, Measure M was narrowly defeated, and less than 2 weeks later, on March 15th, our schools were shuttered due to the rapid spread of a global pandemic. Both of those events had devastating consequences, while at the same time they presented opportunities. The closure of our schools presented significant challenges to the Pleasanton community. While no one's fault, and certainly outside of our ability to control, the responsibility for responding was thrust upon us. It necessitated new thinking, new strategies, and forging new relationships. So we locked arms together and we did what was required. In many ways, we became the best versions of ourselves. We found the us in PUSD. I'm reminded of something that Mr. Rogers shared about what his mother taught him when facing scary times. She said to look for the helpers. Although classrooms and campuses were closed, on March 16th, our nutrition services team didn't miss a beat, beginning with serving grab-and-go lunches to meals or to families in need. This is a testament to the dedication of our employees and their ability to turn on a dime to serve our community with food, kindness, and hope. We are grateful for our classified employees who continue to work in the front lines of this pandemic. They have been purveyors of hope for our families, serving continuously through all seasons of this pandemic. Through the rain, heat, and smoke, our Central Nutrition Services workers and many volunteers were there for our families. To date, they have served over 300,000 meals to our community. While technology is nothing new to us, we needed to support our teachers in making the shift to remote learning in just 5 short days. And so, Team PUSD did just that. The work of our integration specialists has been vital to our success. In a matter of days, the integration specialists put together a virtual academy for teachers that included both live daily sessions and ongoing one-on-one support. Our teaching and learning division continues to work diligently to enhance each student's remote learning experience. And our technology services team led a Herculean effort to provide contactless delivery of devices and Wi-Fi hotspots to students across the district. I was pleased to be able to join the PUSD DoorDash team and deliver devices personally. To date, we've distributed over 10,000 devices. Likewise, our school site team spent hours coordinating and putting together classroom supplies for distribution. Teachers quickly adjusted to different classroom setups, whether they were working at site or from home. This is a photo of Allison McClellan's classroom setup at Fairlands. It looks a bit like a New Age command center, I think. Classes across the district became virtual via Zoom and Google Classroom. This is Mrs. DeVries' Spanish class at Pleasanton Middle School. Schools found new ways to connect with students and families. Several elementary schools organized drive-by parades throughout their neighborhoods. And our teachers reached out to their students over social media to let them know that while they're separated by distance, they are not alone. PUSD music teachers got together to record a song for their students to show them that they can create music wherever they are.
Hello, Pleasanton community. This is Mrs. Sluice from Pleasanton Middle School. I miss making music with all of my students. I hope you are all well and safe and know that I miss you and care about you all very much.
Hi, Pleasanton music students. It's Mr. Dandria at Amador Valley High School. I hope that you are staying safe, healthy, and well in this time of social distancing. We certainly miss seeing you all in our classes, but I hope you're getting to make some music on your own. Stay well.
Hi everyone, it's Miss Phillips. I teach at Hurston at Minich Hills and I've done so for 18 years. I miss you all very much. Everybody out there keep making music. Sam sent at my piano and I just played that and a trash can. You never know where you can make music.
And our physical education teachers inspired their students by showing how they stay active through the shelter in place. Coach there we go.
Good morning, Pleasanton students. This is Coach Batalega. It's Thursday morning, and right now I'm high up on the Pleasanton Ridge. I like to come here in the mornings to kind of get physically and mentally cleansed and ready for the day. On behalf of the Pleasanton Unified School District PE teachers, we wanted to put together a video to show you how we are all trying to stay physically and mentally sharp.
Coach Badalega also made the effort to keep me healthy during the spring. He challenged me to join him hiking the ridge, and I just wanted to say thank you, Tony. As the pandemic continued, our high school teams found new ways to honor our senior class of 2020. Amador and Foothill senior class parent communities purchased lawn signs for every member of the class of 2020, and our high school teams delivered them to each graduate. Village high school staff also got creative in honoring their graduates. And our friends at the city lent a hand to help parents and staff line Main Street with hundreds of purple, blue, and gold ribbons as a tribute to our graduates. Members of our business community also honored seniors to support and sometimes even with ice cream. So here's Todd again. There he is. That's the guy. And that's the QR code. You know what to do. Our high schools organized drive-through commencements for students to create some of the feel of the traditional rite of passage for seniors when they walked across the stage. The class of 2020 didn't get the pomp and circumstance that they had earned through hard work and grit. It was something that we all had to accept as being out of our control. So instead, we lit up the sky. With each firework that our partners at PPIE, the City of Pleasanton, and the Alameda County Fairgrounds made possible, we thought of the profound impact that each of our graduates would inevitably have on this world. With many unknowns and health requirements that continue to shift, we got to work planning for the 2021 school year. We organized task forces and steering committees, and we held numerous virtual town hall meetings, which brought together thousands of stakeholders. We know how important athletics and music is to our students. These activities shape identities, bring joy, and anchor students to school. And we were thrilled when the combined efforts of our parents, coaches, and administrators swayed the county and state public health officers to allow sports and music camps to commence back in June. We saw community groups and Boy Scout troops print and donate personal protective equipment for essential employees who were beginning to return to work. We continued to engage the community in extensive planning geared towards providing families with high quality instructional models. Thank you to the parents, teachers, students, staff, and community members who helped inform our process as we move forward together. There was a mixture of anxiety and anticipation as our schools opened in August remotely. It was a blessing to watch teachers rise to the challenge as they readied for the arrival of their students. No one expected perfection, but man, did our teachers deliver. With smiles on their faces, our teachers made history on the first day of school. They showed students what resilience looks like, creating new ways to connect and to engage in learning. Our high schools welcomed Dons and Falcons, while the middle schools brought Huskies and Patriots and Panthers into the fold. Our elementary teachers transformed their physical classrooms into fun learning spaces for their students. And our students showed up with big smiles on their faces, well, mostly. Classes developed new norms and teachers created spaces where students felt safe and eager to engage. Our Kids Club, STEAM Preschool, and Horizon Early Education programs reopened in July in time to provide in-person support for our youngest learners. Our principals found new ways to engage with families, making these events more accessible. They didn't even have to leave their homes to do so. Our counseling teams continued to be accessible to students and have created virtual wellness centers to support student mental health. Our Student Support Services Department collaborated with Care Solace to make it easier for families and staff to connect to mental health supports. To date, this partnership has helped connect over 2,000 individuals in our community to mental health services. On October 14th, with the extraordinary support from our classified employees, we were able to open our small cohort supervision program to support students struggling with accessing remote learning. This is a special day class, Mr. Brazil, and he came into his classroom at Alisal to support his small cohort and his students who are learning remotely, all at the same time. The gains students in these cohorts have made has been remarkable, and they in turn have breathed new life into our classrooms. Site practices were adjusted to support health and safety as the small cohorts continued to grow. As we waited for health conditions to improve, we all found new ways to continue doing the things that we love from wherever we were. One of my favorite traditions is connecting PUSD alumni with our board of trustees. Our new Zoom ability, yes, that's my word, allowed us to connect in a new and meaningful way to alumni who are attending university, including those who are close to home and those who were far away. Our high schools found new ways to honor student athletes. Schools found new ways to keep special traditions going strong, and they seem to have had some fun while doing so. One of my favorite stories from the past year comes from Fairlands, where the 5th grade team transformed the traditional outdoor education experience into a virtual science camp. Teachers came together to pack over 120 bags, camping bags, with material for their 5th graders to create an immersive week-long camping experience. Through early morning yoga, afternoon nature and science lessons, and evening campfire activities, the Fairlands Flyers were able to bring the outdoor education experience home, not only for our students, but also for their families. But don't take it from me. Listen to what this flyer had to say.
Hey guys, Lioness here, aka Sakshi, and today I'm going to tell you my top 4 favorite things about VCamp. I technically like the whole VCamp, but I can't fit the whole VCamp into one video. That's just unreasonable. Anyways, the 4 things I liked about VCamp are my fort, the dance party, and the banana magic trick. And I also liked the Star Talk. It was really, really cool. And hey guys, Lioness here, aka.
While our students were out of classrooms, and that was difficult, our facilities and construction team has used the situation to accelerate various Measure I1 and facility improvement projects. In November, we broke ground on the new Amador Valley High School science classroom building. That same day, we broke ground on the science and career technical education building at Foothill High School. The progress made by our facilities and construction team has been remarkable. The foundations for both the Amador and Foothill buildings are being laid even as we speak. Both projects will provide modernized classrooms at our nationally recognized high schools, creating learning environments that befit our world-class educators and our students. Both buildings would not have been possible without the generosity of our community via Measure I1. New roofing and HVAC projects are being installed on classroom buildings across the district. Pictured here is the project at Fairlands. And to give you an idea of the need and impact of these projects, here's a before and after picture of the roofing and HVAC project at Alisal Elementary School. We also completed the rebuild of the Harvest Park Library, which restored what has always been considered the heart of the campus for students. Recently, we initiated the Hart Middle School project, which will include a new science building, which illustrated in this rendering by our architects. It will also address parking and traffic flow issues at the site. Finally, I'm excited to highlight the Leidixon Elementary School rebuild project. These new buildings, play structure, and blacktop mark the completion of phase 1. Here are a few shots of your Measure I1 dollars at work at Leidixon. These modern learning environments are beautiful, and the Lancers are getting excited about their opportunities. In addition to these Measure I1 projects, we have worked this past year to reinvest in the maintenance and upkeep of our facilities. As you walk onto the campus at Vintage Hills, you'll notice a fresh coat of paint. This will protect the buildings from deterioration that occurs when wood is exposed to the elements. We've also repainted the entire Amador campus, which has enhanced the look of the school and resulted in new levels of pride that staff, alumni, and current students feel for their school. While this year posed many challenges, and we have a lot to be proud of, there has been so much good that has come from the members of our stakeholders. I'm grateful for each of you who stepped up and stepped in to make a difference. There's that QR code again. This is your last chance. We could not have done any of this without the dedication of our classified team members who engaged to support families in new ways, our teachers who shifted to entirely new teaching and learning models, our parents and community members who stepped up and into new roles, our administrators who rolled up their sleeves, planned and replanned, and stayed the course. And most importantly, our young people who taught us a bit about grit, persistence, and hope. We truly are better together. I simply could not be more grateful for the us in PUSD. As a recognition of our collective work over the past year, I'm proud to share our annual report for 2020, which you can access by scanning the QR code on your screen. Thank you again for your time and your ongoing support. And at this time, it's my pleasure to welcome our newly elected mayor of Pleasanton, Ms. Carla Brown.
Thank you, David. That was an excellent presentation and truly highlighted all that's been going on over this past year. And there is so much to share. So it's an honor to be here and a privilege as Pleasanton's mayor, alongside Vice Mayor Testa and council members Arkin, Balch, and Narum, alongside our city manager, Nelson Fialo, to have worked with Dr. Haglin and the entire PUSD school district. So as Dr. Haglin stated, we are better together, and that remains my theme as well. The close cooperation between the city and the school district has been critical to serving our shared community. It is a partnership, and we have been able to accomplish much, but we continue to foster development and growth in support of our school district. We also support the students and families through our annual joint PUSD board and city council meetings and our monthly liaison meetings. So in these liaison meetings, we have both city staff and school district staff, 2 members from the city elected, myself and Councilmember Arkin, and then 2 members from the Board of Trustees. And this year it is Steve Maher and Mary Jo Carrion. This group allows the city and the school district to have ongoing forum to address issues of shared concerns. We're here to support the schools. Meeting topics can range from updates on operating budgets, school site traffic flows, and we've had quite a bit of that discussions, shared facilities and fields such as tennis courts and fields, and updated demographers reports, even community development projects. Here are a few highlights over the past few years where the city and school district have worked together. So in 2002, the district and the Pleasanton Police Department provided school resource officers, often referred to as SROs, to middle and high school campuses. 2 officers are assigned to Pleasanton Middle School and high schools in an effort to keep school campuses safe and establish a positive relationship between police officers and students. While on campus, our officers meet and work with students, teachers and parents, counselors and school administrators to provide support, counseling, school activities, events, and we often see our officers speak in classes on a variety of topics. Also, since 1989, the Pleasanton Police Department has worked in collaboration with the district for the Drug Abuse Resistance Education Program, which we all know as DARE. This program is designed to help 5th and 8th grade students recognize and resist subtle pressures that influence them to experiment with either alcohol or drugs. And there is a photo of our wonderful DARE officer, Officer McNeil. So PUSD and city leaders are in discussions regarding right now how SRO, those school resource officers, and our DARE programs can best serve our schools and our community in the future. And you can bet this will be a collaborative decision between both groups. What can we do to help? We at the City Council value the input and participation of Pleasanton's youth. We know these students are tomorrow's leaders and well educated by PUSD. We are looking for future leaders, maybe a council member, maybe a school superintendent, a city manager, a city attorney, or even a future mayor. Every year, the city and school district host Youth and Government Day, where Pleasanton High School students have the opportunity to see firsthand how city government operates and functions by shadowing many of our city departments. Our hope is that this day isn't just a civic lesson of local government here in Pleasanton, but we hope students can envision themselves as jobs at the city of Pleasanton. We hope that they're inspired to continue their education with goals in mind. The city is often looking for engineers, accountants, IT technology specialists, even arborists, landscape architects, police, fire, librarians, and more to serve our wonderful community. While we're only able to meet virtually this year for our youth and government, we are working with the district to provide a unique and virtual experience for students. Watch out for details this spring. Next up, I'm truly excited to talk about our Pleasanton's Youth Commission. Did you know that Pleasanton is a rare city because we have a youth commission? Advising the city council on youth-related issues is the main goal. Some of our youth members also serve on committees and commissions that include, so look for something you might be interested in if you're watching, Committee on Energy and the Environment. We're tasked with our Climate Action Plan 2 this season, Parks and Recreation, Human Services, Civic Arts Commissions, and to name a few. And I'm very proud of our outstanding youth leaders, who are, by the way, PUSD students as well. We made a change last year and elevated our youth representatives to the Civic Arts, Human Services, Library and Parks, and Recreation Commissions to be equal voting members along with their adult colleagues. And let me tell you, they bring a fresh perspective, but these young members of these commissions and committees are extremely bright. They do their homework. I'm sure they were trained that well in school, but they do their homework and they are a valuable part of our committees and commissions, and I'm really appreciative. So our Youth Commission is working on serious problems within our community as well. Over the past 2 years, the Youth Commission members identified teen vaping as a growing concern among their peers and recommended a citywide tobacco policy restrictions. The City Council responded with a ban on e-cigarette products like Juul and flavored tobacco products like cherry-flavored cigars and menthol cigarettes. These are common ways, as we've been told, for young members of our community become lifetime smokers. The new city ordinance takes effect January 1st, that's this year, 2021, so it is in effect now. So we really want to extend that appreciation for our Youth Commission for bringing this to our attention. In addition to these projects, the city partners with school district to provide other programs and services to support our PUSD families. And these include the Pleasanton's Library. As we know, it's normally buzzing 7 days a week with students and families utilizing services and checking out materials during the non-pandemic times. Our popular classes and programs and activities are normally sell out almost immediately each session. However, we understand that because of the pandemic, we're restricted. So through a memorandum of understanding called an MOU, in 2017, alongside PUSD, the Student Success Initiative was launched to enable student ID cards from Pleasanton's middle school and high schools to function as library cards. To date, over 7,200 middle school and PUSD students have accessed a range of digital and academic resources, such as online tutoring, language learning, scholarly databases, and which have been particularly helpful in remote learning. During the pandemic, our city library and recreation staff have adjusted to the student needs, and they currently provide services that include sidewalk pickup services, where you can see people can walk right up, and we had either a sunny day or a rainy day. It looks sunny that day, for covering so our books are protected. Swing by and pick up the books that you've ordered online. We have Brain Fuse, which sounds really fun. It's an online application which provides free online tutoring to help students with SAT and ACT preparation, or to help find resources for a research project. I also want to announce something exciting that the library will be rolling out called Flipgrid, which offers free virtual field trips. I want to do that. Virtual field trips and other video content to support digital learning for both students and teachers. Virtual recreation projects are also available. So just because we're learning from home doesn't mean we can't get some exercise. So they offer programs like martial arts, dance, but also some academic programs for fun and enrichment like computer programming and sketching and drawing for our teens, just to name a few. We also recognize when in-person school resumes, which we can't wait either, as soon as it's safe, getting to and from school safely is important. For 2 decades, 20 years, the city has provided crossing guards and developed traffic circulation patterns and calming measures so that students can be dropped off safely at schools. This was evident when Amador High School did their solar panel installation. The parking lot was closed for student parking from the summer through October, which I know presented many challenges for Amador families. While it may not have been their first choice, it was a great way to see students hiking, biking, riding, skating, the whole works, as a way to get to school safely. We also utilized the Wheels bus program with dedicated routes for our students. All of these alternative methods to support city and school districts' Ride to School Safe programs with the goal of helping parents find alternatives to driving their children to school, thereby reducing traffic congestion, and as a bonus as well, we're reducing greenhouse gases. Pleasanton is a highly desirable place to live, work, and raise a family. We know that. Many of us, that's why we selected Pleasanton as our home. Our great schools are a part of that, as well as our wonderful community amenities. I want to give you a brief update on some of the community projects that the city is currently working on that will benefit our PUSD families. We're in the design phase right now for an all abilities playground, which will be located at the Ken Mercer Sports Park. There you go, it's the area in red on the map. The design phase We're also in a design phase for a new skate park, which has been really popular. So that skateboarding, roller skating, you name it, you can do it at this park, and it's going to be very exciting. There's public outreach and comments right now for the playground renovations at the Sports Park East and Central Play areas. Vintage Hills Park and Tawny Park are taking place right now. We continue to work on the West Las Positas corridor, which will provide a 3.4-mile bicycle and pedestrian friendly corridor along West Las Positas Boulevard between Foothill and Santa Rita. We're missing that east-west connection, and it will be exciting to do that and make sure that our bicycle riders are safe. We're finishing up the newly renovated bocce ball courts at Centennial Park, if you happen to notice those right on Sunol Boulevard. Wondering how community projects get decided upon or prioritized? I know I'm often asked, gee, sure would be nice if we had this or that. And it's a process that you need to jump in with both feet and get involved if you're interested. Every 2 years, the city prioritizes projects and initiatives through a work plan process that functions as a roadmap for projects and budget development for the subsequent 2 years. And on the screen is the 2019-2020 priorities work plan. The work plan process begins in December following a general election. And we just had one in 2020. So we've already started our next work plan for the future 2 years. So city staff works and develops a list of potential projects, and so does our committee and commission members. They submit all these recommendations along with their justification to the city council, both in writing, and then public members as well as these committee commission members can attend our work plan workshop. After the workshop, the city council sits down, they look at our budgets, we look at our resources, and we look at the requests from these groups. Together, we come up with a work plan for the next 2 years. And then as we're sitting in office, we want to make sure all those projects are completed. We do our best. Sometimes it's a multi-year process. So stay tuned this spring and learn how to participate in our community workshops. Add your own input like the skaters did and the All Ability Workshop or the All Ability Playground did. And you too can be a part of our future in Pleasanton. So Pleasanton is truly a wonderful community to live and serve. I know that firsthand. I raised my 3 daughters here, and they're all graduates of our wonderful Pleasanton Unified School District, and they all went on to graduate from college. I'm very proud of them. I too have volunteered within the school district as both a gate liaison and a school site council leader. I know firsthand that Pleasanton schools succeed because of the combined efforts of both the school district and the city, the parents, and the students. So we've accomplished so much, but there is still much ahead. I look forward to the continued partnership and collaboration that we will work together and make our Pleasanton schools even greater than they are already. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Hopefully you learned something along the way. And at this time, I would like to turn over the Zoom call to the Executive Director for PPIE, Mr. Steve McCoy-Thompson.
Thank you very much, Mayor Brown. That was great. And thank you, Dr. Hagelin, for your presentation as well. I think one thing I just want to emphasize, hopefully you heard this, is that our community succeeds when our citizens are involved. And so there's an invitation to get involved in these decisions. I just recently joined the city's Economic Vitality Committee, and are looking forward to really supporting particularly our small businesses. So if you care about play structures or what have you, join up. If your youth are interested, please encourage them. We value their input. And so now it's my great pleasure to present our awards. Last year, we started a program called Pillars of Pleasanton. And the idea is to recognize all of our local businesses operate in our community who support our schools in some way. It can be funding and sponsorships, it can be volunteer support, it can be an in-kind donation, it doesn't matter. But we worked with the good people, Alan Pensky at Bumblebee Marketing, and we created this campaign. And so we're very happy to present our second annual rewards. And we'll start with, in the building and construction category, with Matt Rickard and Rickard Lumber. When I was asking our schools and PTA leaders and parent club leaders to nominate companies that have supported their schools, many mentioned Matt. Like you gotta recognize them because Rickard Lumber has been an outstanding supporter for so many of our schools. So thank you, Matt. We really appreciate it. And if you'd like to say a few words. I hope he's there. I've talked to him this morning. If he's not there, Patrick, are you able to let him patch in?
I think I'm there now.
Well, excellent. Good to hear you.
Yeah, no, just want to say thank you very much. And we're always happy to support Pleasanton in any way we can, especially the schools. And if you have any other cool things coming up, let us know. We'd be happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And I'm Matt, I'm really glad that your mom was able to join as well. So
Oh, she was. Okay, cool.
yeah, fantastic. Good stuff. All right, thank you very much. In our next category, in the category of education and childcare, we want to honor the good people at the Shengmeng Learning Center. They're a great learning center, and I'm not sure if Linda's on now, but Linda Chen has been leading that organization. They've opened up their space to PPIE so that we've been able to hold board meetings back when we were actually able to meet. And they've been really involved in helping our students learn to the best of their ability. So Patrick, if you're able to move to the next slide, you can see them. There you go, great. And I don't know if Linda's on. Are you available, Linda? Say a few words. I know I talked to you this morning as well, but I don't think I saw you on the list. So why don't we move on to the next slide is in the professional services category. And I really just want to recognize Larry Damiser, who's an agent with State Farm Insurance. And not only has he been supporting our schools and PPIE with his generosity, but he is actually the PTSA president at Amador. So he's busy. And we really appreciate all that he does. And I want to recognize him. And one thing I forgot to do is we will be delivering these beautiful awards. So you can put it on your desk. I know. See, Mayor Brown is nodding vigorously. So that's pretty cool. So we'll work with you to make sure that you get this later on. And Larry, I'm not sure if you were able to join us.
Steve, I don't see him in our attendees list, but Larry, if you're here, why don't you raise your hand and I'll find you.
That's great.
Oh, there we go.
Is he on?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Larry, go ahead.
Gotta unmute yourself, Larry.
Thanks. Thank you. I just want to say thank you to PPIE. Steve and his team are doing fantastic things. Really proud to be a part of that. Thank you for the award. And I've got 3 kids at Amador, and schools are why we moved to Pleasanton. I think that's the case for most of us. And I take a lot of pride in our whole school system. And I was told I was going to get a key to Dr. Hagelin's private executive washroom. I didn't know if is that coming later, Steve?
Later, much later.
Okay.
Much later.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate the award.
Great. Good. And then in the hospitality and the restaurant and food category, just really proud to give this award to Nick Valenciano at Porky's Pizza Palace. And ever since they've opened, their generosity has just been boundless. They've hosted a couple of events for PPIE, and I know they've supported a number of other schools. So Nick, I think are you available to say a few words?
Yeah, I'm coming. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. So first off, I just want to say thank you for PPIE for giving us this great award, and I appreciate this partnership. For those of you who don't know, Larry's daughter actually works for us, so that's pretty cool to see the commingling here. We brought Porky's to this great city of Pleasanton just because it's home to our family, and we wanted to bring this great business to an already thriving community. I want to remind everyone, use this as a resource so we can work together to support the kids. And then finally, being a product of Pleasanton School District, as well as a future parent, I want to thank all the parents on this call because you're showing up for your kids. The more parents support, the better the kids' lives are, and it's going to pay dividends later on for your kids as well as for our community. It's a win-win for everyone. We need more parents like you to show up. Look forward to seeing you guys all at the Palace now that outdoor dining is starting again. Thanks, guys.
Great. Excellent. Good to see you. And then in our health services category, I'm very proud to give this award to Stanford Healthcare Valley Care. And again, a number of schools, when I've asked for recommendations, they all mentioned you guys. You guys have really stepped up in the midst of this chaos. And we know the amazing work that you're doing within your healthcare walls, but you're also reaching out to the schools. And we sincerely appreciate that. And I'm happy, I think Tracy Lewis Taylor is the COO, is on, when hopefully she is able to say a few words.
I am, and hopefully you all can hear me. We appreciate that acknowledgement, but certainly we are not the only heroes during this pandemic. I really want to acknowledge on behalf of the entire leadership team at Stanford Healthcare Valley Care, the tremendous work for all of our school districts, in particular the Pleasanton Unified School District, PPIE team, our teachers and our education partners are truly heroes. I don't have children within the school system. They are aged out of college, independent adults, which is wonderful. But through friends and colleagues, I've heard about some of the really great programs that are happening in Pleasanton, and in particular, really appreciated the superintendent's review of all of the pivoting that had to happen throughout the year. I had no idea that you could conduct outdoor education virtually. So kudos to you guys. That's certainly no easy feat. We are really proud to be affiliated with this organization, certainly be a recipient of this award, PPIE in particular. I think it's really important that we as a community hospital continue to support our community broadly, certainly including the school districts. Many of the programs that we support are aligned with health and wellness. So it was really great to see how the teams have pivoted during the pandemic to ensure that healthy lunches and snacks were available for students outside of the classroom. Loved seeing the fitness taking place on the top of the Pleasanton Ridge. Again, I think those are all really creative endeavors. So no better organizations for us to be partnered with during this challenging time. So thank you for the recognition.
Great, thanks so much. Really appreciate your time coming on to accept the award. And we look forward to working with you to maybe engage staff when they have a little bit of a moment to help coach some of our students who love that insight. It really makes a huge difference. So
yeah, we would love that. Happy to do that.
Great, excellent. Thanks so much. So and then in our next category, in kind of real estate and property management, Bob and Deb Silk, these are just great people in the community. They have a very nice personal touch in all their work, but they're also involved in so many things, not just the schools, but collecting items to help people who are in need, just really model citizens in a lot of ways. And I'm not sure if they were able to get on. Bob, are you there?
Steve, I did get a note that they unfortunately were.
Oh, okay, that's fine then. Well, then hopefully you've heard my praises for them. They're well-deserved. Really just happy to have them part of our community. They really make us who we are in many cases. And so the next category in retail, we have Town Center Books. You all know them. Judy Wheeler has been great. She's been a wonderful supporter of many of our events. She's personally supported me. I've actually published a couple of books, two of which are for kids. And so she helped me do a reading. So I appreciate that in the past. But more importantly, she's just been a real stalwart in the community. And I'm not sure if Judy was able to get on. I don't see her, but thank you very much, Judy, for your work. Very much appreciated. I know that Lisa Halsey at Viva, they're the other recipients of the kind of the software and technology sector. They've been a great supporter. Hopefully you've seen all of their signage at our past runs. They do amazing, fantastic, back-end data services for biotech, and they've been growing. They're one of the great success stories in Pleasanton, and they've continued to support our community. We really value their services. And then finally, in the transportation and energy sector, I want to just give a real shout out to Chevron. Chevron, I don't know if you know this, but in the region, they are really one of the stalwarts. They give and give and give more. They've done some amazing programs like the Fuel Your School program in the past, and they continue to support our schools. And so I'm very happy to present this award. I believe Nathan Rurick, I think hopefully you're on the call. If you'd like to say a few words, we'd love to hear from you.
You should be coming, Steve.
Okay, excellent. And I know he's not shy because I've met him.
Hi there. Are you able to hear me?
Good.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Steve. We really appreciate this award.
Oh, I think you hit your mute button. You can unhit that mute button. We can hear your wonderful words. And if you can't unhit it, maybe I'll speak on your behalf.
There we go. There we go.
Sure.
Hey, thank you so much, Steve. As a proud Pleasanton resident married to a third grade teacher who teaches in Pleasanton, I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of Chevron, most importantly, because this award raises my profile here at home with my wife. On a serious note, though, Chevron's investments in education are long-term and far-reaching and hyper-focused on science, technology, engineering, and math. We work to create innovative education programs to help the next generation of problem solvers tackle the most complex challenges of the future. We look forward to continuing to work with PPIE and to take a comprehensive approach to investments in education by getting students excited about STEM and encouraging them to pursue STEM courses and ultimately STEM careers. So thanks again, Steve. Chevron is really honored for this recognition.
Great. Thanks very much. Great to see you, Nathan. Hear from you. So one of the things that we did when we started this Pillars of Pleasanton and the State of the School District lunch in the past is we really designed it as a networking event. And last year it was phenomenal to see school leaders connecting with business leaders and sort of designing some programs on the fly. And we can't do that so much now, but I do hope, people who are attending, you're seeing who's on the call, right? We have the support of Mayor Brown, the support of Dr. Haglin, and we have these business people who really care about our community. So if we can help facilitate we're happy to do that. So on behalf of everyone, particularly Dr. Haglin and Mayor Brown for your presentations, all of our awardees, all of the staff at our school districts and the parents, you who are holding them together, we appreciate you all. So thank you very much for joining us. And David, if you want to say any parting words, you're welcome to do so.
Just again, to thank everybody for their continued ongoing partnership with our schools and with the district. Thanks to our friends at the city for their continued support and our business community partners. We couldn't do this work without you. You all together make Pleasanton one of the best performing school districts in the state. It's not something we do here at the district office. It takes a village, as someone once said, and you're the village. So thank you.